channel. First, as always, I always do the excuses at the beginning, but I've had a really busy day. I've been doing Amelia's beach hut, so excuse that I'm in my dressing gown and everything. I've just been in the shower and jumped out of the shower. Mr. Dible's just popped off to collect Amelia from school, so I can do that and make my update video for you all. I wanted to get it up at the weekend, completely forgot that it was Mother's Day weekend, so I've had a lovely relaxing weekend off, and I'm jumping on today to record a weight loss update for you all, as promised. As you'll know, I've been on it a week, the Thursday just gone, so I've actually been on it, what, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, over 10 days now, so I was aware that I needed to come on. Before we get started with all the update, just another thank you for being so supportive of last week's series, the spring cleaning videos. I've got all your suggestions written down of the ones you want to see coming up. Obviously, I'm not going to do a spring cleaning video every day throughout spring. I was completely exhausted, so the weekend off was well deserved. It seems to have gone down great, but there are still a few people that need to catch up yet. I'm trying really, I'm hoping to get sort of 1,000 views per video on that, and then I'll know for definite that it's an interesting series that I can continue filming. So the next few videos of spring cleaning that come along will just be from your suggestions, what you want to see me do. And yeah, hopefully we'll make it into a series of 10 in total, but the next 5 will be off your suggestions. So look forward to those. But yeah, I want to mix it up a little bit this week. So first of all is my update. I think I might be doing a haul this week, so there's a few of you that wanted to know what I'd bought on previous days that I've been out with Jade, etc. I think I've gathered quite a few bits and bobs up. They're all still in bags, so there's no problem with me showing you that, so that might be coming up this week as well. But anyway, let's get on with the reason that I'm filming this video right now for you, is just to update you on what's going on, i.e. weight loss, etc. So, the last video that I updated you with will have been that 3-year on Slimming World. Well, it was on and off Slimming World. That was a 3-year update. So 3 years since I started doing the YouTube journey of my weight loss. And yeah, all the comments are great on that. I am now I'm in a better frame of mind, going to go back and answer all the comments on that, but there was some fantastic comments, so thank you as always for all your support on that video. And what am I doing? I bet you sat there going, just let us know what you're doing now. So I am still kind of doing Slimming World, but if you remember, I was saying in that previous video that my mind was just a bit of a wash with all these different types of diets, clean eating, Slimming World, whatever. I admitted to you all, and I think I've admitted to you in the past anyway, that I have a food addiction. I have a real problem with food. I have a problem with binge eating. I have a problem with emotional eating. And yeah, all of that combined with just not knowing what to do for the best has led me onto a path that I did right back at the beginning of my journey. Now, don't click off yet, because it's only a temporary measure. It's not something that I would recommend anybody doing, but everybody has to do what they feel is best for them. So I sat and assessed my personal situation and how I'm feeling at the moment, and what I think I can do to help me with my food addiction, with the how can I explain it, with the fact that I'm constantly, or I was constantly thinking about the next meal all the time. What am I going to eat? What can I snack on? And that's what I mean. It was a real food addiction. I thought of nothing else other than food. Everything was related to food, and yeah, so I had to do something for me personally that was going to nip all that in the bud, try to make myself think differently about food altogether. I mean, I was even thinking at the time if I could just take food out of the equation, and they brought these pills out that they've been talking about for years that literally is your meal in a pill, and you pop it in, and I don't know, I had some sort of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory thing going on in my mind, thinking, oh yeah, I'll be able to taste all the flavours, you know, the roast beef, the Yorkshire pudding, and then the pudding for afters, you know, like a meringue, a lemon cheesecake or whatever. But it satisfies you, makes you feel full, gives you all the nutrients you need. I mean, obviously, there is no such thing as that, otherwise there'd be none of us like you that are perhaps watching this video now and me struggling with our weights. So I thought, well, what can I do though still to try and take food out of the equation as much as possible? Well, obviously I can't starve myself, so I can't just stop eating. So like I say, if you've watched me right from the beginning, you'll know that I did a form of shake diet. Looking back on the ingredients that were in that shake, and the reason I actually came off the shake, it wasn't the best shake that I could have been on. A lot of things have changed since then. A few years have gone by. There's been a lot of research into things. I, again, have done my own research. Now, I have found out that there's a celebrity that does I didn't know this at the time. I would in no way do some form of weight loss plan just because a celebrity does it. I've got my own mind. I like to read into things, and I did. So I phoned Superdrug up about this product because I'd seen it on the internet. It looked good to me, but I just wanted to ask her if anybody else had bought it, if they'd had any feedback on it, you know, etc, etc. Now, the lady at Superdrug said that they'd had one of the personal trainers in from our local sports centre looking at all the different ways of doing shakes and protein, etc, etc. He looked at all the ones they had in on the shelf, and he actually said that this was the best of the bunch. So I'm not saying it's the best in the world. I am on a budget, but from all the ones that were sold in Superdrug, he said it was the best one. So anyway, I'll show you what it is I'm doing. Now, before I get into it fully, just realise that this is a prelude to healthy eating, but I am going on holiday, which is something I've not mentioned yet. I'm going on holiday in a couple of weeks, and it was a case of getting some weight off fairly quickly to get back into the clothes that I wore back in October when we went to Portugal, or I would have gone out and had to spend a lot of money to get my new size clothing of what I was when I started on this, you know, shake. I'll call it a shake. It is a protein powder. You may have heard it, like I say, I found out about it afterwards that Khloe Kardashian did this to drop some weight. That is not why I'm doing it at all. I can't reiterate that enough. But it's called Protein World. It's a protein powder, and it's just called the Slender Blend. Ingredients, there's not much in the way of ingredients at all, which again is great. The more ingredients and the more ingredients that you don't recognise, the worse these things are. So it's just whey protein concentrate and natural flavourings. That's what's in it. So yeah, whey protein concentrate, skimmed milk powder and natural flavourings. So the rest of it is just a Protein World vitamin and mineral blend. So it's absolutely packed with things like magnesium, potassium, vitamin K2, loads of different vitamins and stuff in there. There's a tiny little bit of sweetener right at the end, because I don't know if you know about ingredients, but they're listed in order of quantity. So whatever's at the top is like the most, and whatever's at the bottom of the ingredient list is the least. So it's got sweetener as the last ingredient, and then that sweetener is sucralose, which I absolutely don't mind. It's just the aspartame that I cut out of my diet. So it's the one I bought was just the vanilla flavour. They do come in like loads of different flavours. And again, I want to just say at this point as well, I'm not being sponsored. I've done my own research, gone out and bought this with my own money. They do chocolate and strawberry, but from reading reviews, vanilla seems to be the best one. And I can attest to that. I've started on my first day just adding water, because it tells you to add water or almond milk. So I only had water in at the time. So first day I did water. Then I realised I had some coconut water in my fridge. So I tried it with coconut water, and that was lovely. Then I did go out and buy the unsweetened almond milk while it's on offer at £1. I mean, they always have it somewhere at £1. So I got a glut of almond milk. And started having it just plain with almond milk. And then, as with anything like this, the flavour can get a little bit boring. So I think it was about day 4 I realised I still had some frozen fruits in my freezer from Waitrose. I had raspberries, mixed winter berries, and I also had blueberries as well. So blueberry is my absolute favourite. I put literally like a cupful. I think it works out about 50 grams. The 400 gram bags, the ones from Waitrose, and well, I might not even be having 50 grams, because that means I'd only get about 8 shakes out of that, and I seem to have had probably more than that. So yeah, so you can literally just do it with water, and as I say, I mean, to be honest, it was fine just with water if you want to cut back on a lot more calories. I think it's only 13 calories per 100 ml of almond milk anyway, and I just think it makes it extra creamy. One thing that does make it even nicer if you are doing it with water is just like half a frozen banana, because I had a load of frozen bananas in my freezer from, I don't know, if you buy children bananas, they ask for bananas and then they don't want to eat them and then they start going black. Well, when they're just on the turn like that, I chop them into chunks, pop them in a freezer bag and just stick them in the freezer, and they're great for smoothies. So yeah, water and banana is a lovely flavour if you want to cut back on the calories by, obviously, if you'd have had a banana and almond milk, it'd add up, but if you just do the water and the banana, that sort of makes up for the almond milk. So yeah, vanilla, at the moment these are on offer. They've got a third off in Superdrug, so I just got the 600 gram tubs. I got 2 of those. I have started my second tub, so I'd say each tub lasts about a week, and I think they're around £13 for the tub. Don't quote me, go on Superdrug website because I forget now. So for the first week, I just wanted to do this on its own, nothing else. There's a load of other products that Protein World sell. I could have gone to town and spent an absolute load of money, but I didn't want to. I thought, I want to try this out for 1 week, as directed on the packet. As I say, I have added a few extra blueberries and stuff like that in for extra calories, which it doesn't tell you to do, but at the end of the day, if it's what keeps you going and you're not going to get bored of having it, then that's great. So, things that I found about it. Me personally, because I was so sick of thinking about food, it has been a godsend to me. I don't have to think about what I'm having for breakfast. I don't have to think about what I'm having for lunch. I just pop 4 scoops of that in my Actifit thing that I've got, my Actifit blender. Whiz it up with the almond milk or the water, bit of fruit if I want a bit of fruit in it, and that's it. I've got a shake. I've got the new one where you get, I think it's like a neoprene sleeve, so it keeps it cool for ages. And I just sip on that as I'm going along. As you know, if you've watched my weekly vlog, you'll see that I'm always on the go, cleaning up, doing one thing or another. So it's great to just carry around with me, sip on that. It's encouraged me to drink more water, because you do need to drink water with these things. Otherwise, you know anyway, because you feel really thirsty. So it's encouraged me to drink a lot more water. It's also, in something I didn't expect was, I feel like I'm only eating now to sustain myself rather than eating out of habit. So it's already teaching me some good habits in that way. But primarily it's just that whole thing of not having to think about where the next meal's coming from, what it's going to be, the time I need to prepare and things. Another reason it fits into my lifestyle as well is because of Mr. Dible's shifts. He works a lot of nights. So while Amelia's at school having her meals and Mr. Dible's in bed after doing a night shift, it's just quick and easy for me. Amelia doesn't know I'm taking these shakes. I wouldn't ever sort of encourage this for children, or I don't want her to know I'm doing this as a thing, because as I say, I wouldn't encourage it. But me personally at the moment, it's something that works for me, and I'm sure there's a few of you out there watching that may think this sort of thing would work for you. But obviously, as always, I'd encourage you to do your own research, everything like that. I don't want to do all the disclaimers because I'm sure all of you watching are adults and you can make decisions for yourself. So I'll give you the results of what happened in week 1. It does say you can lose up to £4 per week with this. I'm using this in conjunction with MyFitnessPal. I'm putting in that I would like to lose £4 a week. I know that's a lot for me. If you've watched me for a while, you'll know that's a very large amount of weight for me personally to lose. It's saying on MyFitnessPal that to be able to lose £4 a week, I need to be staying around the 1200 calorie mark. So it's been brilliant, MyFitnessPal, I have to say. So in a way, I'm kind of doing calorie counting. I know the calories that are in this when I have it with almond milk, so that's brilliant, and that's pre-programmed now. I can just sort of do a swipe in the morning and for lunch, and it's there. I don't even have to fill anything in. It's already on my diary on MyFitnessPal. I'm having a normal Slimming World evening meal, so I'm still doing a lot of fruits and mainly vegetables, small portion of meat, and very, very, very few carbs. I don't really do well on carbs in an evening. If I'm going to have carbs, I'm better having carbs for lunch personally again. So yeah, when I am having carbs, I'm trying to have whole wheat carbs and stuff, but more often than not, my carbs tend to be from vegetables. So vegetables and meat I'm having as a normal tea that you would normally have with Slimming World. So still, Slimming World is still in my brain, and it's still something that I've learnt from and I'm using. So week 1 results were I lost £4. So I was so happy with that. The last video I spoke to you in the 3-year update, I was 16 stone £5. Obviously, a few of you noticed that I was a bit upset about that. For obvious reasons, it's the heaviest I've ever been. So it did give me a kickstart making that video. So between making that video and actually going out and doing the research and buying this powder, I lost £2.5 on my own, just from being more mindful of what I was putting in my mouth. So £2.5 I'd already lost. So when I started on Protein World shakes, I was 16 stone 2.5. And when I got weighed dead on week 1, I always get weighed in the same clothes at the same time of day in the same place on the same scales. I was down to 15 stone 12.5, so £4. Obviously this Thursday I'll know how week 2's gone. In week 2 I did buy an extra thing at the time. I didn't want to use them in week 1 because I wanted to know exactly how the powders worked on their own, but I did go ahead and buy these. Now I know my metabolism is completely ruined from yo-yo dieting, as a lot of us will be, which is why I struggle to lose weight, because I've wrecked my metabolism. So I bought these in addition, and again everything's got a third off at the moment. So these are the Protein World Fat Metabolizer capsules, and you take one of these along with your milkshake. So yeah, what does it say that they do? It just says suggested use for the first week, which this is my first week of using them, because as I say, I wanted to just see how the powders worked by themselves. Take 1 capsule in the morning and 1 in the afternoon with your meals. So, I mean, you don't necessarily have to take these along with the shakes. You could just take them with a normal meal. But I've been taking them along with the shakes in week 2. And then from the second week onwards, take 2 in the morning and 2 in the afternoon with meals. Now, when I read reviews on the powders and the capsules, some people found that it made them a bit jittery, it made the heart rate increase, it made them hyper. Some of them were having a shake for breakfast and then a meal for lunch and a shake for tea, and they weren't getting to sleep on a night. I have on one occasion had the shake for my tea rather than having it for my lunch. I don't find any adverse effects. I suppose it has given me a bit more energy. I don't know if that's just in my head. As you know, I've been doing my spring cleaning. I've been taking these while I've been doing my spring cleaning. I've been out today and painted the inside of Amelia's beach hut, which was quite strenuous. Would I have had the energy to do that before the shakes? I can't really say. I mean, read into it what you will. At the end of the day, I think if I was to restrict my calories to a breakfast that had the same amount of calories as the shake and the milk in, which is I think just shy of 200 calories, obviously I'd lose the same amount of weight. But for me, I'm doing this because it's simple, it's easy, and I don't have to think about it. Am I going to do it forever? No. Is it something that I might keep in my cupboard for those days when I'm really busy and I haven't got a chance to grab breakfast and I just want to get something again without having to think about it but know how many calories are in it? Then yeah, absolutely, I probably would use this in the future. So with these fat metabolizers, I mean, obviously the proof is in what it says. It helps with your metabolism. But these are packed with extra vitamins as well, B6 and B12, which contributes to the reduction of tiredness and fatigue. And as you all know, I suffer from that a lot. And they also contribute to the normal protein and glycogen metabolism. Don't really understand that. All I know is that and it contributes to normal lipid metabolism as well. So it's just packed with vitamins. Obviously, I think there's caffeine in there. Yeah, there's quite a bit of caffeine in there. Green tea extract, B6, B12, guarana, which again is good for sort of energy levels. Yeah, choline, things like that. Yerba mate powder, I don't even know what that is. But yeah, go on the website. You'll be able to see the ingredients if you go on Superdrug website. So I can't do you a 2-week update because, as I say, I'm not doing where I'm getting on the scales daily like I've done in the past. But all I know is I've lost 2.5 pounds on my own just from being more mindful since I last spoke to you. £4 doing just the powders for a week. And that, as I say, a combination of doing them with water, with coconut water and with unsweetened almond milk. Sometimes I'll put a little bit of frozen fruit in, sometimes I won't. I'm doing that with a low-calorie evening meal because, as I say, I tend to have around 200 calories for a shake for breakfast. 200 calories is my shake for lunch. So that leaves me, 800 calories for my evening meal and snacks and stuff. I'm not snacking so much because I am finding that they do keep me full. They don't make me feel full in the way of like really stuffed, because that was another problem of mine. I used to eat to feel stuffed. And I just don't think that's good. I'm trying to get out of that habit. I want to eat to sustain myself. I don't want to eat because it's fun or because, I don't know. I think if you've watched me for long enough, you'll know where I'm coming from. So yeah, I said I'd update you. It's not something I'm promoting that anyone else do. I'm only updating you because you always are all interested in what I'm doing, maybe why I'm doing it and how it works. So that's all I'm doing. It's just an update video. So I've got quite a bit of this left. I'm going to continue to do these shakes now until we go on holiday, which is I think the 11th of April we go. Fingers crossed that I can get back into those clothes that I wore at Portugal, because otherwise it's going to turn into quite an expensive holiday. But yeah, obviously I'll update you at week 2 just to see if these have done anything else. The chances are, because my body's maybe got used to doing the powders in week 1, I maybe would have had a lower weight loss in week 2. So if anything, I'm hoping that these metabolizer booster things make me lose £4 again in the second week. And then obviously I need to up the capsules to 2 with each meal. It is just the morning and the afternoon meal, isn't it? Capsule in the morning and 1 in the afternoon. Yeah, so it's just your first 2 meals of the day. And obviously up in the capsules week 3 would do that as well. Right then, guys, I'm going to have to get off for now, get my hair sorted and everything. Mr. Dible's just opened the door and chucked the shopping in. Amelia's just getting out the car and she's on her way now, so I need to get all this put away, as I say. You know, it's not the sort of thing that I want to promote to children. We just do normal eating and everything with Amelia, so that's great. So yeah, think of it what you will. I know obviously the thumbs up and thumbs downs always suffer when I do these sorts of videos, but as I say, it's a personal thing that I'm doing for myself. It's not going to be done long term by any means. It's just a way of, I don't know, resetting my brain hopefully into eating because I need to eat, not eating for a hobby. Do you get what I mean? So yeah, please comment below. Let me know if you've tried anything similar, if you're on this at the moment and you're trying it yourself. Just things that you maybe do to overcome food addiction, binge eating, emotional eating. I'd love to know any sort of tips and tricks you've got that help with that. And yeah, just wish me luck for the next few weeks while I'm doing it, and hopefully I can maintain and carry on getting back to a normal healthy eating as I was doing before. All right then, guys, see you in my next video. Ta-ra, bye.